Welcome to a live subgraph transfer where we're going to take a subgraph that's already been published on Ethereum and transfer it to Arbitrum. We have a subgraph here that's published on Ethereum Girly, and it's going to go over to Arbitrum Girly. And it's the exact same process that you would go through should you be on Ethereum mainnet wanting to transfer to Arbitrum 1. So let's follow this through step by step. But before we get going, there's three things that you should know. The first thing that you should know in getting going in this process is that you should really set aside 20 minutes and go through the entire process in one go when you initiate this transfer. And that's because there is a clock involved in this transferring of your subgraph, where if it takes longer than 7 days, you may actually lose your subgraph. So why don't just set aside 20 minutes, have a coffee, have a tea, and go through this process step by step. And from there, you can be 100% confident that your subgraph has made the transfer, and then you will not lose your subgraph. If you are having any issues at all with this transfer tooling, go ahead and check the link down in the description below to fill out a form and get in contact with us, and we will be able to help you out ASAP with your transfer issues. So yes, set aside 20 minutes, see it all the way through, and if you're having any issues whatsoever, fill out that form and we'll get back to you ASAP. The second thing that you should know when beginning this transfer process is that you really need to be 100% sure of the accuracy of the wallet address that you will be transferring your subgraph to. So if you have potentially input it incorrectly, or you're putting in someone else's wallet address, they will own your subgraph. So you really need to be 100% sure of the accuracy of that wallet address when you input it into the form, because you cannot change it after you have input it and submitted that address. It could be an EOA, it can be a multi-sig, whatever you prefer. Just make sure you have control of that wallet, you have the correct address, and it's a triple checked that you have the power of that wallet, because I would hate to see your subgraph get transferred to the wrong address. The third and final thing that you should know when you are beginning this subgraph transfer process is that you will need to update your endpoints within 48 hours of completing this transfer process. You will still be able to have a functional endpoint for 48 hours after you've completed this transfer process, but in that time, you really should update your dApps endpoints to the new endpoint that will be provided to you at the end of this transfer process. Also, what you're going to need to do is inform others that are using your old subgraph endpoint to update their endpoint to the new endpoint that you will provide them. So those are the three things that you should know when beginning the subgraph transfer process. Let's go ahead and transfer our subgraph live. Okay, here we are with our subgraph. It has already been published to Ethereum Girly, and we are going to be transferring it to Arbitrum Girly. So just know that, of course, this is a testnet transfer. It's the exact same process with real subgraphs that are not on testnet. So let's go ahead and transfer. Welcome to the Transfer Subgraph to Arbitrum Girly landing page. Enter the next phase of the graph network. Feel free to read those steps on the left, but what I want to do is highlight that this is the location where you will enter your Arbitrum wallet address that I described in the beginning of the video. It automatically populates with the EOA that I am currently logged in with. However, you are welcome to put in any other address that is of the wallet that you control in there, as long as it's on Arbitrum. So it can be an EOA, it can be a multi-sig. Just make sure that's 100% correct, because once you submit, it cannot be changed. Okay, let's go ahead and transfer the subgraph. Click on Transfer Subgraph, and we'll go ahead and approve this transaction. And I will fast forward this until we get to the next screen where the timer will start. Okay, the timer has now started. And so this was the 20 minutes I was talking about as we're starting up. Have your coffee, have your tea, take a sip of either, and I'll be back when it's on to the next step where we'll confirm the subgraph transfer on Arbitrum Girly. And then we got a few other steps here, step 4, step 5. We'll get into those later. Right now, I will just fast forward this screen and I'll see you in a second. Okay, all completed. Next step is number 3, confirm subgraph transfer on Arbitrum Girly. And to do this, we need to switch wallets to Arbitrum Girly. I'll fast forward this and we'll get to the next step as well. Okay, after sending that last message, we have been brought to this page. Incomplete transfer to Arbitrum. You have a subgraph that is partially transfer to Arbitrum, you must complete the transfer before the new version will be supported. This must be done within 7 days, so go ahead and just keep on pushing through this. I clicked that button, and now we're going to confirm the transfer now. So the last thing to do is click on Publish Subgraph, and I'll fast forward this until it's all the way through. Okay, the subgraph has been transferred successfully. And as you can see, you have a new query URL. You can update your dApp with that URL, as well as inform others of that new endpoint. And then also know that your older endpoint will be operational for 48 hours after this transfer has completed. Like I said in the beginning, if you have any issues with any of this, go ahead and check the link in the description, fill out the form, and get in contact with us where we will be able to help you. And from there, I appreciate you taking your time going through this subgraph transfer video. Take care, everyone.